Hello and good evening, lacrosse fans. Welcome back to Frank Crane Arena. The last game of the round robin, and let me tell you, we got some things to sort out here. We'll get all into the tiebreakers and what could happen as the game goes on. But we got the Miners sitting at 5-1, taking on the Ladner Pioneers at 3-3. Last game of the day, last game of the round robin. The crossovers start tomorrow as we look ahead to the medal games and the crossovers and the seedings. And as much as this game doesn't mean a whole lot for the Ladner Pioneers other than keeping the momentum forward, for the St. Albert Miners and the top four teams, Miners, Indians, Titans, and Timmermen, this game means a lot. We'll get you that after the Canadian National Anthem. Here it is, down on the floor, and then it'll be game time. A lovely rendition of Jake Elliott's all-time favorite song, "Oh Canada." And let's get down to business. Pioneers and Miners. Let's get you scratches and starting goaltenders. For the 5-1 Miners, scratch number 4, Josh Sullivan. 17, Ryan Davis. 44, Graydon Cornfield. 45, Keegan Ball. 91, Richard Laughlin. For Ladner, scratch number 4, Brian Poole. 8, Dan McDermott. 19, Ryan Keith. 21, Eli Gobrecht. And number 50, Brody McDonald. Also scratched for the Miners, Aaron Bold. Your starters, to my left, Matt Hebert. He'll wear 35. And to my right, number 1, Zach Wickett. Miners in black with red and white trim. Pioneers, red with white and black trim. And we are underway. Loose ball far side. And bodies battling. And eventually be grabbed by Davidson, but he's dispossessed. Now Wyatt Pinder has it. And the Pioneers have their first possession of the game. Here comes Ladner. Kirkby gets a pick there from Lewis. Kirkby skips it over to the far side. Lacroix shot deflected. Loose ball. And it'll be picked up there by La Riviere. Up ahead. And the ball will be pulled out by Matt Andruko. Back to La Riviere. Shot scores! Top corner cheese. And it's 1-0 Miners. Brett La Riviere with a great outside shot and put it far side top corner on Zach Wickett. I believe that's Andruko's. It might be his first of the tournament. But that's a hot start for the Miners. 30 seconds in, they lead it 1-0. And here come Steve Triolo. Wins the draw cleanly to himself. We'll go bench side to Riley, but he dropped it. Outside shot, that one takes a deflection and goes wide off the stick of Dylan Lacroix. Now running the fourth toward Reinhold. Kinnear and Riley picking up the assists. I didn't think there was that many passes. And then the Pioneers throw it away. So as the day goes on and the game goes on, we'll talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. But let's put it this way. If St. Albert wins this game, they'll finish first. If they don't win this game and the Pioneers knock off the Miners, then we'll have a 4-way tie at 5-2. Here's Christensen, crease called. And if in either scenario, we're going to have a tiebreaker. If the Miners win, there's still a 3-way tie at 5-2. If they lose, it's a 4-way tie at 5-2. So Cognawaga Indians, Nanaimo Timbermen, and Oakville Titans, very interested parties watching this game. Here's Mike Bearcock. Tries to go near side to Pinder. Loose ball grabbed by Hebert. And he'll almost throw it away off the glass. It'll be taken there by Ben Snyder. He'll bounce it to John Lintz, the steady veteran on the back end. And Lintz will chuck it down near side into the corner. Ferris. Now far corner, Triolo. Triolo back to Ferris. He'll shoot. 5-hole scores. 2-0 as Nick Ferris gets one on the board. And the Pioneers are off to a slow start here while the Miners have scored on 2 of their first 4 shots here in this contest. So Ferris took the feed from Triolo, bobbled it the first time, and then once he regathered himself, was able to put it 5-hole past Zach Wickett for a 2-0 St. Albert lead. Triolo and Poole battling. Bit of a stalemate. Check that. That's Szabo. And Patrick Szabo wins the draw first team. Loose ball grabbed there by Davidson. And Nanaimo we'll hope that the Miners can get a win here, as the Timbermen are going to finish third no matter what in either scenario. Ladner They're going to finish 5th, and so they'll take on Saskatoon tomorrow at noon. Inside feed to Nate Clare, doesn't connect. Loose ball grabbed there by Lacroix. Feed to Pinder, shot on target, loose ball. And the Miners run over it, still loose, far side. Can Dylan Lacroix get there? He does. And he'll run to space, and Ladner will set themselves up with a fresh 30. Lacroix, Nate Clare, now near side Wyatt Pinder. Pinder gets underneath, shoots 5-hole. That one goes wide. Loose ball, McFetridge. Pass to Lacroix, doesn't connect. Hebert finds it, and he'll go bench side. Now Pinder and Tor Reinhold come together, and I think this is Tor Reinhold's first game of the entire tournament. I haven't seen him play at all, and he's just showing up and going to get one game in before the crossovers and medal round. But he'll have to serve 2 minutes, and we'll play 4-on-4 as he and Pinder will head to the box. So Darren Kinnear will start with it for St. Albert's. He's out there with Triolo, Matt Christensen, and Jason Riley. Check that, 9's Derek Burak. Inside feed to Kinnear, just put it wide. Triolo tried to slam it far side, turned aside by Wicket. Loose ball grabbed by Ladner. They're going to run here. They got a 2-on-1. Kelly and Johnson. Johnson to Kelly, nicely knocked down by the stick of Derek Burak. Going to go up and out of play. So possession will stay here with Ladner. Pioneers trailing 2-0. Just 4 minutes gone here in the opening period. This is the last game of the round robin here in the 2018 President's Cup. Lewis, Nate Clare was looking to pass before he caught it. And so we'll have to chase that loose ball behind the net. Pick it up, Clare. Shot. He was being watched by Duff. That'll go up into the stands. And St. Albert will take over. Here comes TJ Cox. Finally about to go up one time against his brother Cody Cox. I asked Cody if he was going to give his brother a chop. And he said for that to work, I'd have to go out the front door. You never know. Here comes Cody Nass. Gives it off to McFetridge. Back to Nass down in the low corner. Watched by Lintz. Far side, Barakoff. Shot goes wide. Loose ball picked up there by Nass behind the net. 15 on the shot clock here for the Miners. Barakoff couldn't handle it. And it's going to go all the way down to Wicket with 10 on the shot clock. He'll throw it to McFetridge. Picked up there nicely by La Riviere, and then it'll get rolled all the way down to the corner as the shot clock expires. And now here comes John Lintz. Your officials, Lee Breen and Clint Jacobs. Mr. Zabo is your third official in the bench. Pump fake inside, Triolo, far side, low side, and it goes off the shoulder of Wicket. And here comes McFetridge. Reinhold out of the box, didn't see McFetridge chasing him down. And then it'll be grabbed there by O'Mara. O'Mara. And we're going to get a too many men call here on Ladner. And it took the officials a little while to see it, but it was eventually called. So we'll get our first true power play of the game, and it will go to St. Albert. And across the floor to come serve it, I believe that's Cody Nass, and it is. So out steps Derek Burak, Kinnear, Ferris, Triolo, and Matt Christensen in the corner. Christensen. Pass knocked down by Cox, loose ball. Burak. Ferris, Triolo. Oh, great hands by Darren Kinnear on a feed from Triolo. A power play goal, and it's 3-0. Kinnear took that cross crease feed, one little hesitation, got Wicket to drop to his knees. Kinnear had the patience to wait, and then put it far side into a pretty open cage. And it makes it 3-0 as Triolo will pick up another assist. Time of that goal, 5:57. Back to even strength. Loose ball. Grabbed there by Williamson. He takes a couple chops from Zabo. Up ahead, Ferris. Ferris will bring it across center. Far side. Now Burak. Riley underneath, loses it, crease violation, easy call for Lee Breen. Here comes Garrett Lewis. Lewis trying to get underneath the check of TJ Cox. Up top, Wyatt Pinder. Pinder trying to go 5-hole, nice save, Hebert. And he'll float it up ahead. Here's Garrett Toll. He just arrived the other night for the Miners. Christensen will bounce it near side. Ferris. Ferris to Triolo. Triolo surveying, going to back his man in. That's Ian Poole. Shot 5-hole again. Ferris blows it past wicket. It's 4-0 as Nick Ferris has his second. And that one comes at 7:08. And a hot start here for the Miners. The two-time defending champs are trying to secure themselves the #1 seed, and with a win here they will do it and then leave a three-way tie for second that will create some noise. As Ian Poole wins the draw, goes all the way back to Cody Cox. And let's clear something before we go any further. If you've been watching Point Streak, you've been watching this tournament, you've noticed that there was an overtime loss point awarded to Oakville and to Capital Region for losing games in overtime. As that shot from Burkhoff goes wide, McFetridge 10 on the shot clock. Near side Kirkby, short side missed. Oh, Burkhoff grabbed it but couldn't finish it off. So you may have noticed an overtime loss point to Oakville and to Ottawa, to Capital Region. Those points don't count anymore. It was an error in the system, an error in the Point Streak website. It was just essentially a glitch, and the convener and the CLA have talked it over as Triolo puts a shot on target, it's turned aside by wicket, and they have confirmed that there is no more overtime point. So that extra point that Oakville and Capital Region had is no more, and that creates some of the confusion and some of the tightness in the standings, especially with these top four, because that overtime point had really allowed Oakville to have a bit of an advantage. But they don't have that anymore. Here's Triolo. Backside, Burak. Delayed penalty, Kinnear. Shot from outside, goes wide. Hebert to the bench. Another power play coming up here for St. Albert. And this is going to be an illegal cross-check call. And so Ladner will go work short-handed. Ferris will set it up. Zabo with the penalty. Down low, Christensen, Triolo. Ferris, Kinnear. Down in the corner, one more. Pump fake, Christensen, Triolo. He'll shoot, save wicket. Loose ball picked up there by Poole. He'll quickly push it ahead. This is Jake Carey. Ian Poole on the run. Takes a bump, spins off his check, switches hands and shoots, kicked aside by Hebert. Hebert looking strong here in the early goings of Game 4 on Day 7. Lacroix, far side. Nate Clare, buck 13 remaining on the minor to Zabo. Lacroix will bounce it near side McFetridge. He'll run across the timeline, give it back to Nate Clare. Good east-west movement here by Ladner. Lacroix now needs to find somebody. He'll flip it inside as He had Garrett Lewis cutting through the middle, then Lewis couldn't find it. And here comes Nick Ferris and the Pioneers power play unit. Ferris to Kinnear. Triolo, Christensen. Kinnear plays 1-2 with Ferris. Back to Ferris. Skip it to Triolo. He bobbled it. Cox pressures him. 10 on the shot clock. Triolo to Ferris. Now picked up there by Burak. He'll shoot a twister. Kick save. Oh, and it goes in. Another power play goal. It's 5-0 as that one comes off the stick of Derek Burak. I think you'll get assists from Kinnear and Ferris. Time of the goal, 10:18. At the draw. Riley won it. Flipped it back to Toll. Now here's Kinnear. Kinnear all by himself. Ferris will now come and set the pick. They'll work a two-man game. Late man is Burak coming in. Christensen. Shot by Christensen. Kicked aside. So they only give the one assist to Triolo. The Pioneers will run it up the floor. Wyatt Pinder. Pinder gets met quickly at the line by Jason Williamson. Pinder gives it off to Kirkby. Now Bearkoff. Bearkoff. Nate Clare got held. He was taken to the ground by TJ Cox. Delayed penalty. 3 on the shot clock, and Clare bobbled it. And so we'll get a first power play opportunity here for Ladner and a chance to end this 5-goal run. As it looks like TJ Cox is the guilty party. 2 minutes on a hold. So Tom Johnson will set the Pioneers up on their first power play. He's out there with Clare, Bearkoff, Kirkby, and Cody Nass. 8:43 remaining in the first period. You're listening to the 2018 President's Cup from Nanaimo, BC, courtesy of the fine folks at Lax All-Stars. Here's Johnson. Kirkby, down low, gets it right back. Kirkby skips it over. Clare, shot, shoulder save, Hebert. And Andrewko gives chase and finds it. Chips it up to himself. Nicely done there by Matt Andrewko. And then Andrewko throws it away, and it's picked off by Nate Clare. So here come the Pioneers again. Clare will leave it for Tom Johnson. Quickly down in the corner, Bearkoff back to Clare. Now Tom Johnson. Pump fake, shot, scores! Johnson with a little far side twister. A power play goal for Ladner. And it's 5-1. Time of that goal, 12:03. And so a goal-filled first period. We've got 6 already, still 8 minutes to go in this period. Zabo and Triolo at the dot. Triolo wins it, but his team can't come up with it. And now it's finally grabbed by the sure hands of Jarrett Toll. Toll will bounce it back into his own zone. Williamson will leave it there for Burak. Ferris swings it far side. Christensen. Late man on the floor is Riley. Kinnear. Christensen. Christensen trying to get free. 4 on the shot clock. Pass was too high. 30 will go, and here come the Pioneers up the floor the other way. Wyatt Pinder will run towards the bench and look for someone to give off to. Didn't have anybody, so now he'll stay and play. Clare to Lacroix. He'll shoot. Never made it on target. Knocked down by the stick of La Riviere. Loose ball. And they were grabbed there by Hebert. Hebert quickly up the floor. Here's Patrick O'Mara. He'll slow it up. Let the offense get out there, but O'Mara will stay and play a shift with the front door guys. Christensen faked it. Goes far side Triolo. Triolo backing his man in. Swim move on Hanair. Triolo inside feed, doesn't connect. 8 on the shot clock. Christensen. And Christensen will just back into his own zone, then chucked it in the middle of the scoreboard. Grabbed there by McFetridge. As Christensen just tried to ice it. He might have put his team in a bad spot here. Kirkby. Late man is Johnson. Had Cody Nass, but Johnson didn't handle the pass cleanly. Kirkby faked it, flips it to Johnson. Now he'll shoot a twister, and Hebert makes that save. Didn't know where it was, underneath his feet. And with 6 minutes to go, the Pioneers will bring it up, the Miners will bring it up with Christensen. Far side, Jason Riley. He gets a pick, now swings it to Ferris. Ferris couldn't find it. That pass too tall for him. 14 on the shot clock, 5:50 in the period. Riley, Kinnear, shot goes wide, loose ball. And Sam Clare will find it. He'll float it to Cody Cox. Cody wears 26 for Ladner, TJ 22 for St. Albert. Shot there by Nate Clare. Hebert saves it, loose ball. Hebert will move it up quickly. John Lintz, 3-on-2 here for St. Albert. Lintz, Reinhold, shot dunked it far side and not a save by Zach Wickett's skinny red friend. Here's Tyler Kirkby. Kirkby down low. Nass. McFetridge, and he'll go far side, Tom Johnson. Johnson takes a chop from Owen Williamson. Barakoff will set a pick to free him. McFetridge. Kirkby into Nass, goes wide. Loose ball. Andrew Coe going to give chase. He picks it up. Ladner with a little pressure, but now O'Mara will slow it down across the timeline. Here's Christensen. He's got a huge ball fake that was very successful in the early goings of this tournament. Inside feed. Oh, a nice save there by Wickett as he was able to deny Riley on a ball cut. Now Jake Carey. Ladner doesn't have numbers, so Carey will slow it up and give it off to Nate Clare into the corner, McFetridge. McFetridge has played a lot here in the early goings of the first period. Lewis, Lacroix, McFetridge, shot, save, Hebert. And we'll get an interference call on La Riviere. And so Ladner will retake possession. Pinder tried to go 5-hole, and Hebert kept the stick down. Backhand shot, Lewis. Rebound, McFetridge. Far side, Nate Clare. Watched by Reinhold. Good defense by Tor Reinhold. Not allowing Nate Clare a shot. McFetridge will carry near side half boards. Put it down to Garrett Lewis. Lewis working in the middle. Still has it. Lewis shot, save, Hebert. And there'll be a crease call on Lewis. And here comes Jarrett Toll with 3:40 left in the first. Toll. Darren Kinnear. Slowly. We'll get a pick from Ferris, who's got a pair. Triolo. Christensen. Triolo. Inside feed. Doesn't connect with Riley. He was being held. 8 on the shot clock. Inside feed. Nicely grabbed by Ian Poole. Poole with Ferris all over him. Ferris got away with a bit of a hook. Poole switches hands, switches back. Skips it. Kirkby. Man open in the middle is Tom Johnson. And then Kirkby tried to force it, picked off by Triolo. Miners will go for a full sail change, and Triolo will leave it here for Derek Burak. Kinnear, Christensen, 10 on the shot clock for the Miners. Christensen, inside roll, dive, shoot, save, Wicket, loose ball. Battling on the near side boards is Kinnear, but he loses out to Jake Carey. Carey running 3-on-2 here for Ladner, now 4-on-3. Carey won't force it, give it off to McFetridge. Wyatt Pinder skips it over to Lewis. Shot easily saved there by Hebert. And he'll let O'Mara do the duties of clearing it up the floor. O'Mara, Ferris, A little bit of numbers here for St. Albert. Triolo, spin move, backhand shot. That one buzzed the tower of Zach Wickett. 12 on the shot clock. Ferris air mails, but heads up. That one almost took out some fans way up there in row 12. Here's Kirkby. Kirkby carried to the corner. Takes a chop, skips it. McFetridge, backside Nass, open shot. Great save there by Matt Hebert. Stones Cody Nass. And now Tor Reinhold will bring it to center with $1:20 remaining here in the first. Reinhold. Stutter step. Gets a pick. Faked the shot. Kinnear back to Reinhold. Far side Christensen. Ferris through a screen. Missed short side. Loose ball. Grabbed there by Kinnear, and Wickett didn't even know. He thought Poole had it. And Kinnear has his second. And it's 6-1. Time of that goal, 18:58. As Kinnear picked that loose ball right out of the air. Wickett wasn't aware. And it was an easy deposit for Kinnear's second of the game. 6-1 St. Albert. And what are they going to call? Procedure on Riley. Ladner will take possession. Going to try to get one back and cut the deficit back to 4. You heard him. Last minute in the first. Pinder around the top. Hill shoots, sails it high. Loose ball grabbed there by John Lintz. Had Williams ahead of him, won't force it. Toll. Toll will bounce it here to Burak. Truolo being worked over far side by Connor Davidson. Ferris. Riley. Triolo sets a pick. Riley shot knocked down by the stick of Poole. Kinnear, up ahead. Sam Clare. Clare shot kicked aside by Hebert. All the way back down 12 in the period. Cody Cox. 5-4. Ladner get a shot off. Kirkby. And it'll be after the buzzer, and that's the way it's going to end. 6-1 St. Albert. St. Albert jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Brett LaRiviere got it first, followed by Nick Ferris, a power play goal from Derek Kinnear. And then a second goal from Ferris made it 4-0. And then another power play goal, this one coming off the stick of Derek Burak, made it 5 before a power play goal from Tom Johnson got the Pioneers on the board for their first time of the game. But Kinnear's second with 1:02 remaining in the period makes it 6-1 Miners. My name's Teddy Jenner. You can find me on Twitter at Off the Crossbar. We'll come back a little early to start the break. That's so we can break down some of these tiebreakers for you. End of first, 6-1 Miners over the Pioneers here from Nanaimo, only on Lax All-Stars.
Welcome to Nanaimo, the gateway to Vancouver Island. Located on the rich waters of the Salish Sea, backdropped by thick, temperate rainforest with their rolling hills and the rugged mountains in the distance, Nanaimo was the first home to the local Nanaimo First Nations people. For centuries they lived here in connection with the land. And in many ways, this close tie to the wilderness of Vancouver Island resonates today. In the 1850s, the Hudson Bay Company set up a trading post in the region here in Nanaimo. Today, that trading post still stands with the HBC Bastion standing guard over the waters of the harbor here in Nanaimo. For many decades afterwards, Nanaimo flourished as a coal mining town. Much of this early history is on display at the Nanaimo Museum. Today, Nanaimo is a bustling and modern urban center on the edge of natural wonder. Experience Nanaimo's supernatural wilderness and find yourself again.
Nanaimo allows me to do my passions through accessibility. Just the way that it's laid out, within 10 or 15 minutes, I can basically be from my house and doing something that I am truly passionate about. For me, it's about connection. I know a lot of people go to nature to disconnect from the world, but for me, it's about feeling like I'm part of something bigger. I feel it helps me connect to other people with similar interests and passions. Nanaimo has a little bit of something for everybody, and I think it does that little bit of everything really well. It's a place where you can discover passions that you didn't even know you had.
It gives you city life and gives you wilderness life all at the same time. It has both freshwater and saltwater with easy access. You don't have to travel more than 10 to 15 minutes to be on a body of water, no matter where you live. You can either be out on the ocean fishing in 15, 20 minutes, or you can be on Long Lake like we are today, enjoying some trout and bass fishing.
With diving around this area, Nanaimo or British Columbia in general, it's actually rated in the top in the world. Part of the reason that we have so much life here is the colder water with lots of nutrients in the water. One of our very popular activities we do is snorkeling with seals, and certain times of year when we get the sea lions coming by us, 2,000-pound sea lion coming right up to you a few inches away from you, just amazing. You think you're swimming along great in the water and this thing comes and does a somersault in front of you and just takes off. And you realize how small in the ocean you actually are.
The best part about owning a tour company is getting to show everyone the reasons why we live here in Nanaimo. I love the culture and natural wonders here in Nanaimo, and I love being able to see it for the first time every day through the eyes of our guests. Yeah, Nanaimo really is in the center of everything.
I'm really passionate about regenerative agriculture because that's what farming is all about. Some of the most exciting things for me in Nanaimo are the harvest, when there's all this abundance and we're able to take our food and set it out into the community. And when we go out for dinner sometimes, we get to see our food being served to us and served to our community, and there's a lot of excitement around that. At the markets we sell at in Nanaimo, there are over 200 vendors who participate, and you can do your full spectrum of shopping at these markets. And so you're invited to come to the market.
Currently, right now, we're concentrated on sourcing all our ingredients from mid-Vancouver Island. We like to utilize what we can get from local farmers. Breweries, wineries, and distilleries in Nanaimo have really exploded in the last few years. We've got a couple great wineries. Just down the road from us at the Longwood, we've got a distillery that makes some world-class gin, vodka, and even absinthe, which is pretty rare these days. We've got 3 breweries in town, 1 brew pub. You can really occupy a lot of your time traveling from one drink establishment to another. We've got pretty much everything here.
Well, we're sitting here at Piper's Lagoon, which is one of these little hidden gems that a lot of people don't know about, but I'm commonly often known as the Big Cheese, and I coined the name the Big Cheese not long after I started the store. There's a pretty good variety of establishments in Nanaimo now. There's some really excellent places to eat now in Nanaimo which are doing quite nicely. We have shopping, we have all the well-known brands, but we also have a cute little downtown area with lots of independent businesses. Well, I think the location makes it very special. The abundance of parks and activities and outdoor fresh air things, and everyone who moves here from somewhere else comments on how welcoming the people are. And I think that's one thing that makes Nanaimo very special, is the welcoming and the amount of stuff there is to do.
With its dramatic and diverse landscapes, including forests like this, Nanaimo offers so much. Impressive coastlines? Yeah, we got that. Rolling hills? Rugged mountains? Yeah, we got that too.
I'm more of a country mouse than a city mouse, and Nanaimo, the city, it has enough of what I need, but just the natural beauty of it. I can feel it in the pores of my skin, I can feel it in my lungs when I breathe the air. There's just something, when I get out here and I just see trees and blue skies, it makes me happy. Yeah, my big thing every year is to go down to Nanaimo River and jump in, because the river feels like it's a healer. That beautiful fresh water and the trees around it, it cures whatever ails you, and there's nothing like it to me in the world. I've really been encouraged, especially in the last 10 years or so, that Nanaimo's recognizing the art scene a lot more and celebrating that, and there's some fantastic festivals that happen every year, and I've been lucky to be involved in a lot of those because I do live here.
Some of my passions are getting out to nature, so going for hikes to places like Ammonite Falls or Neck Point. We have one of the first wineries on Vancouver Island. We have one of the oldest brew pubs. We have a bunch of craft distilleries. I like to use Nanaimo as a base for my expeditions because it has a little something for everyone. If people want to stay in a hostel, they can. If they want to stay in a nice 4-star hotel, they can. And most people love the different variety of accommodations we have.
What surprises visitors in Nanaimo is the abundance of wildlife and the immense natural beauty. I like to go explore all the different islands because they have trails and glorious forests to see, but they all have these little bays and secret little gems. And so if you're into exploring, you get a lot out of it. My absolute favorite place in Nanaimo is Newcastle Island, or as the Nanaimo First Nations call it, Seisutchen.
Nature is a big part of it, because when you're going to carve something for the longhouse, which is in our traditional dances and things, my dad will bring me up the mountain, talk to the trees, talk to the water, thank them, and just stay up there.
Back inside Frank Crane Arena. Period 2 between the Pioneers and Miners. The Miners leading at 6-1. So let's break things down for you while we got a few seconds here. Because I know a lot of people are wondering, and a lot of people are asking, not just fans, a lot of players are trying to figure out what the heck's going on here too. Simple formulas. If it's a 4-way tie for first, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head amongst all those 4 tied teams. So Oakville, Caughnawaga, St. Albert, and Nanaimo. Caughnawaga and St. Albert went 2-1 in those 3 games, while Oakville and Nanaimo went 1-2. So automatically, St. Albert and Caughnawaga go to the top of the 4, while Nanaimo and Oakville go to the bottom 4, and then you go head-to-head in those games. Caughnawaga beat St. Albert, so they'd finish first, St. Albert second. Nanaimo beat Oakville, Nanaimo would finish third, and Oakville would finish fourth as the second period is underway. Now there's one more scenario, which is probably the more likely scenario, as Patrick O'Meara sprints up the floor. Check that, Williamson. And Williamson throws the pass away, but it'll bounce right to Ferris. We'll get to the second scenario momentarily. Here's Christensen. Triolo, hard shot, outside save there by Wicket. Loose ball. Ferris battles for it, picks it up, and the Mioneers will get a new 30. Way too many men here. Way too many men there for the Miners. They had about 8 guys on the floor. Here comes Dylan Lacroix. Far side, Kirkby, down low behind the net, backside look to McFettridge, doesn't connect, 8 on the shot clock. Lewis, save Hebert, ball loose, grabbed there by Matt Andruko. Here's Pat O'Meara. O'Meara as John Lintz starts the one-man board bang. Christensen into the corner, Triolo, far side, gets it right back, shot picked out of midair by Ian Poole, and he's done that 3 times already. Has Hanair ahead of him, won't feed it. Off the bench, he has Cody Nass, Poole, Nass, shot scores! Good patience by Ian Poole to start that transition. And a $1.41 into the second. Ladner gets onto the board. So 6-2 is your score as Nas takes the feed from Poole and beats Matt Hebert. Loose ball grabbed there by Ladner. Riley. Put it in the corner, Christensen. No numbers here for the for the Miners. And then laid off the bench. Ferris couldn't handle it, goes into the Miners bench, so it'll be Ladner ball. Here's Cody Cox. Far side, Lewis. Kirkby takes a couple picks, gives it off to Nate Clare. Shot, save. Loose ball, Lintz. Lintz takes a chop, flips it up ahead. Now Andruko. Triolo. Nathan Hanair, that's the wrong goal call. I don't know how they could get that wrong. Here's Triolo. Around the top, Triolo, shot, goes wide, loose ball in the corner. And it'll be grabbed there by Jake Carey. Carey quickly up ahead to Hanair. Nate Hanair. Down low, Bearcoff tried to jam it. Nice save there by Matt Hebert. Here's Duff. Aaron Duff doesn't have numbers, so he'll get across center and slam the brakes. And flip it there for Jason Riley. Riley to Christensen in the corner. Cutting, Kinnear, shot, save, wicket. Loose ball, Carey. Battling forward is Riley. He can't find it. Going to be grabbed there by Davidson, who will run up the floor. Davidson runs right through that chop. Man open is Nas. Still open. Cody Nas. Far side, short side save. Hebert. And then it gets flipped back to Hebert. Ball still loose. Man down on the corner. And we get a reset. And I can't see who that's just trying to limp off there. But great hustle by Owen Williamson, who quickly goes right down the tunnel, favoring that right ankle. Andruko. Kinnear into the corner, Jordan Cornfield, who's literally taking his first shift of the game. Christensen faked it, still has it. Christensen, 5 shot, save, wicket. And then, wicket almost threw it away, or gave it away to Triolo. And now here's Poole. Poole, Davidson, being watched there closely by Ben Snyder. Davidson. Worked over by Snyder, keeps his feet moving, skips into the corner, Kirkby. Kirkby will shoot, save Hebert. And Hebert will look for an outlet, doesn't have anybody coming to him. And then he'll flip it near side, Patty O'Mara. O'Mara has it, diagonal feed, and then one-timer. As Burak tried to move it quickly across the floor. Ferris, ball loose. 3-on-1 here, 2-on-1, 3-on-2. Jake Carey, shot, knocked down by O'Mara. He finds it, and he'll run the floor. 4-on-3. O'Mara. Far side, Ferris. Triolo. And he won't shoot it, and we'll slow it up and give it off to Ferris as O'Mara goes for a change. Far corner, Burak, Triolo missed it, gets it off the sideboards. 8, Triolo, step back shot, 5-hole, kicked out there by Wicket. Into the corner, Ferris battles, picks it up for a new 30 for St. Albert. 5.5 gone here in the second. Ladner with the only goal. Inside move by Christensen, and a nice stick check there by Ian Poole. Up the floor comes Sam Clare. Sam Clare will shoot, hit a body, and he's able to find his own rebound. 20 on the shot clock. Bangs it down into the corner to brother Nate Clare. And we'll get a moving pick called here on the Miners, and Ladner will bring it up floor and try to cut into the deficit. But the Miners will start with it. Triolo being shut off behind the net there by Mitch Winter, but Triolo couldn't find it, took a chop from Winter, and it'll be grabbed there by Davidson. Takes a glove to the helmet from Triolo. Davidson into the corner. Henair shot, save Hebert. Loose ball. Triolo battling with Henair. And now Triolo gets mixed up with Ian Poole. But O'Mara has it all the way across center. As everybody was watching, the body's down in the corner battling. Hidden ball. O'Mara will hold on to it. O'Mara, pass picked off. Here comes TJ Cox. Sorry. Not. Inside feed, loose ball. Carey couldn't find it. Miners have it. Tor Reinhold. Reinhold, short side, faked it, goes far side, top corner. A little hesitation from Reinhold got Wicket to freeze. And off the bench comes Ben Snyder to get Tor Reinhold that ball. And it's 7-2 in favor of St. Albert. Time of that goal, 7:13. Look over in the stands and can see Miners' number one goaltender, Aaron Bold, watching on. You know, he'd love to be playing, but he'll gladly take the rest as he's played most of the minutes in this tournament for St. Albert. Inside feed, there to Lewis, turned aside by Hebert. Lewis got the rebound. New 30 here for the Ladner Pioneers. Lacroix, near side Tom Johnson. He got the first goal for Ladner in this game. That was a power play marker back in the midway part of the first period. Stick check there by Duff. Pinder gives it off to Lewis. Shot, save Hebert. And he'll hold on to it and get a whistle. Floated near side Andruko over his head. He's going to have to run onto it. And it's picked up there by Ian Poole. Little bouncer to Clare. Numbers here for Ladner. 3-on-3. Sam Clare gets a pick from Henair. Shot over top as that one was going to hit right in the middle of Hebert's mass, but he luckily ducked and got out of the way. 11.5 to go in the second. Here's Bearkoff. 10 on the shot clock. Bearkoff tried to flip it into Johnson, knocked down by the stick of Duff. And here comes O'Mara. 3-on-3 the other way. Pioneers will move it far side. And they'll let the offense come onto the floor. And Christensen will slow things up to Cornfield. This is Jordan Cornfield, the captain, backs his way in. Skips it up top, Darren Kinnear. 8 on the shot clock. Kinnear. Watched there by Zabo. Kinnear picked up by McFetridge, and then Kinnear will just throw it on target. And Wicket will give it off to Cody Cox. McFetridge takes a couple chops from La Riviere. McFetridge shot, never made it on target. Loose ball. Duff battling. Can he find it? No, but Ben Davis can. So Davis will hold on to it. Bounce it near side La Riviere. He couldn't handle that one. It goes up and out of play. So a couple unforced errors back to back by the Miners defense. And let's see if Ladner can't take advantage here. Lacroix. Ladner had too many men for a second. No call was by the official. Lewis. Kirkby. Bearkoff gets a pick from Lacroix. Inside feed, and Lacroix heard some footsteps as he went into the heart of the forest. Kirkby Shot, save Hebert, up and out of play. Possession will stay here. And Ladner will take it in the corner. Cody Nass. Swing it near side, Lacroix. Bearkoff has it in the corner. Kirkby gets a pick from Nass. Watched there by the big man, John Lintz. Kirkby pushed out. Bearkoff, near side, Dylan Lacroix. 15 on the shot clock. Shot through a screen, turned aside by Hebert. And we're going to get a holding call on Ben Davis. And so Ladner, who's 1 for 1 on the power play, will get their second opportunity of the game. And it looks like St. Albert's going to pull Matt Hebert halfway through this game. Going to give each guy equal time, and Brady Johnson will come in and see his true first minutes of this President's Cup. Up by 5. Ben Davis to the box for the Miners. And it looks like it actually was a timeout called by the Miners, not just a goalie change. And Lintz is just going over to the officials to confirm that they're calling a timeout here. And Stashniak, the Miners head coach, former National Lacrosse Leaguer, is not tearing a strip off his team, but speaking very vociferously, trying to get his point across. And let's see if his stern words will get his team to refocus a little bit here. Tom Johnson, Nate Clare, Bearkoff, Kirkby, Cody Nass. Johnson, Nass gets it right back. Down low, Kirkby, diagonal feed. Nate Clare shot and a first save there for Johnson. Here comes Andruko. Gets to the crossing line. Minute 40 on the penalty. Let's see if the Miners can kill some off here. Andruko goes far side. Burak gets it off the boards. We'll pass it back to Andruko. Andruko watched there by Nate Henner. Far side, skip, nice one-handed grab by Burak. Burak in the corner, pressured there by Cox. Burak, backhand feed. A nice job there by Poole just to trap that ball on the ground and win it back for his team, and he'll bounce it to Cody Cox. And the Pioneers power play will head back on the floor with 56 remaining on the penalty. Johnson, Bearcroft, Clare, Kirkby, Nass out there again for Ladner. All the way around the back, Tom Johnson, top middle. Faked it, shot, saved Johnson. And he'll look for an outlet. Nobody working back towards the ball. Johnson's going to have to chuck this when he does. Great feed out of the bench. Now all the way in the middle, Christensen. Shot, just put it wide. Great look there from Brady Johnson. All the way up the floor to Kinnear coming off the bench. But with 15 on the power play, here comes Nate Clare. Clare will shoot it. That took a deflection, went wide. Nass got the rebound. 8 on the penalty. Johnson. Nate Clare. Down low. Bearkoff just missed far side. Loose ball. Johnson. 8. Faked it. Shot it. Scores! Bouncer Tom Johnson. Another power play goal. That's 4 in this game. 2 for each team. It's 7-3 as Johnson gets his second. $13:24 the time of the goal. That was a wicked bouncer from Johnson. He was sort of on the other side of the center half of the floor. He was able to bounce it and it went short side, top corner. And it's now a 4-goal game. Triola wins the draw back into his own zone. Jarrett Toll gives chase. He picks it up. Toll up the floor. Slow numbers here for St. Albert, but Ferris couldn't handle it. He pressures Sam Clare in the corner. Now bodies battling. And then the Miners just wrist shot it towards their bench. Christensen. Riley, 9 on the shot clock. Riley. Outside shot, Ferris hit a body, never made it on target. That one stung. Now here's Ian Poole with under 7 to go. Last game of regulation in the round robin. Lacroix shot, saved Johnson. As Saturday, the crossovers will start for the 8 teams in the 2018 President's Cup. Top 4 to the middle round, bottom 4 to the placing. Here's Duff, Triolo, twister 5-hole save there by Wicket. He'll float it to Poole at center. 1-on-1 with his man. And he won't force it. Now here comes Ladner hard off the bench. Poole, Kirkby, down low. One more. Kick save there by Johnson as he denies Michael Bearkoff with a left toe. Here comes Reinhold. Gets it back. Oh, and he had a great opportunity as he cut down the seam, but he couldn't handle the pass. Poole finds it. Goes far side. Zabo up ahead. Nate Hanair. No numbers here for Ladner. Hanair will slow it up. And he'll tuck it inside, trying to find somebody open. Hanair gives it off to Nate Clare. Clare, Hanair, shot, scores! I don't even think he was really aware of where the net was, but he'll take it as Nate Hanair gets his first. And that one comes at 14:33. And so after bringing in Brady Johnson, the Miners have given up a couple goals here and allowed the Pioneers to claw their way back in. Triolo wins it to himself. Triolo dumps it. Christensen never made it on target. Cody Cox pushing up the floor. Pinder. Oh, that pass was just too high for Cody Nass. Ball free in the corner. Pinder in there battling. And Druko there for the Miners. Eventually, it'll be grabbed by Kirkby. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson. Bearkoff. 7. 5. Shot 5-hole save. Johnson. And then Johnson throws it out of play. So Johnson, Nate Clare. He'll backpedal, give it to McFetridge. Far side, Garrett Lewis. Underneath, Lewis, dive, shoot, scores! It's now 7-5. Give Ladner 3 straight as Garrett Lewis gets his first. So that's 3 goals in 2 minutes. And I wonder if Chris Dashniak, the Miners head coach, is questioning that move to give Brady Johnson the minutes. Not that Johnson's playing bad, but I know the Miners would probably like to finish first, even though if they finish first, it creates a matchup with Cognawaga. So let's get you that one when we get a wipe of the floor. So we talked if there's a 4-way tie at 5-2. If that happens, Cognawaga's first, St. Albert's second, Nanaimo's third, Oakville's fourth. That's if St. Albert loses. If St. Albert wins, it creates a 3-way tie with Oakville, Cognawaga, and Nanaimo. All 3 of those teams went 1-1 against each other, so the head-to-head tiebreaker gets thrown out the window, and we go to goals for formula, which is goals for divided by the sum of goals for and against added up. Stay with me. As Borak dropped it. So the 3-way tie with Oakville, Cognawaga, and Nanaimo after going 1-1 against each other, and you do the goals formula, Oakville will finish second with a .565 goals for average. Nanaimo finishes third with a .481, and Cognawaga will finish 4th with a .464 goal average. So, as some have suggested, maybe St. Albert would like to play Nanaimo instead of facing off against Cognawaga, but I don't think anyone's really interested in throwing games here in the President's Cup. There is no easy route to the finals for anybody. 3.5 to play. Nate Clare, Tom Johnson, faked it. Gets a pick from Dylan Lacroix. Inside feed, pass was too tight for Nate Clare. And now Johnson will have to find someone to pass to. He goes behind his own net to Duff. Aaron Duff runs past the check of Nate Clare. Gives it off to Kinnear. Near side, Riley. 10 on the shot clock. Kinnear, got to get a shot off. He will, off the leg pad. Loose ball, one-hand pickup by Triolo. Now flipped it to Ferris. Burak, Triolo. Twister, far side, shoulder save, wicket. Loose ball, grabbed there by the Miners, reset to 30. Burak, double team. Got to get away from trouble. Big pick there from Riley just to help Burak find some space. And a nice job there by number 9 in black to keep possession here for his team. Burak to Kinnear, gets a pick from Ferris, comes around the corner, down low, Priolo. And they'll give it a shot, but it went all the way through the crease. Up ahead, Nate Hanair missed it. That'll be an interference call on Reinhold. As Hanair, little kip up to get back to his feet. Cody Nass will start with it in the corner. 2 minutes in the second. Johnson, an outside shot, just missed the far corner. And now Lintz will give chase with Pinder. Pinder picks it up. Lintz is going to go to the bench. Numbers here for Ladner. Lewis, shot. That hit Ben Snyder, never made it on target. Lewis battling, as is Snyder, who comes up with a nice job. Ben Snyder. Here's Andruko. Andruko, will he shoot it? Nope. We'll slow it up, let off the offense get out. Here's Triolo. Cornfield. Cornfield will flip it to Christensen. Far corner, Kinnear. Triolo, 5 on the shot clock. Got to get a shot off. Triolo, and they'll call holding the stick on Christensen as he ripped the twig right out of Sam Clare's hands. And here comes Sam Clare. Clare will flip it there to Dylan Lacroix. Now Nate Clare, 17. Kirkby. Watched there by Williamson. Behind the net, last minute of regulation. Johnson. 8 on the shot clock. Johnson pushed high. Kirkby up top. McFetridge, can he get a shot off? He does! Saved there by Johnson. And he's able to find the loose ball and flip it back to himself. And Johnson's going to have to go to his right and make that pass. Not exactly the surest of passers is Brady Johnson. But he got it away. Here's Christensen, final 30 of the period. Christensen backs his man in, takes the chop. Burak, far side. Now Triolo trying to spin underneath. And it skipped it far side, just out of the reach. It'll be grabbed there by Hanair. Hanair up ahead. Davidson got to find it in the corner. Picks it up. 9 in the period. Up top, Hanair. 4, 3, 2. Oh, a nice play there by Hanair just to dive in that ball so that Patrick O'Mara didn't have a clear opportunity, and that's the way the period's going to end. It was a 5-goal lead for St. Albert. It's been shrunk to a 2-goal lead as Ladner outscores them 3-2 in the period. And it's, 3-1. Nope, 4-1. My math will get there. Outscored them 4-1 in the period. And they make it 7-5 with our final 20 minutes. So, before we go to break, let's do this tiebreaker thing for everybody one more time. If St. Albert's holds on to win this game, they will finish with a record of 6-1, your clear number 1 seed. That leaves Oakville, Cognawaga, and Nanaimo all at 5-2. So what you do is you go to the games against each other. So Oakville lost to Nanaimo but beat Cognawaga. Cognawaga beat Nanaimo, and Nanaimo beat Oakville. So everyone's beaten each other and everyone's lost to each other, making everybody one-on-one. So then we go to goals for formula, which is goals for divided by the sum of goals for and goals against just in those 3 games. So don't look at point streak and tabulate 64 plus 59 divided by 64. That's not how it's done. It's just in the games against the 3 teams. And once that's done, Oakville finishes second, Nanaimo third, Cognawaga fourth, which would make St. Albert, Cognawaga in one semifinal, Oakville, Nanaimo in the other. Now, should St. Albert lose this game to Ladner, all 4 teams would be 5-2, Oakville, Cognawaga, St. Albert, and Nanaimo. Again, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head amongst the tied teams. So, Oakville lost to St. Albert, lost to Nanaimo, beat Cognawaga. Cognawaga beat Nanaimo, beat St. Albert, lost to Oakville. St. Albert beat Oakville and Nanaimo, but lost to Cognawaga. And Nanaimo lost to Cognawaga and St. Albert, but beat Oakville. So Cognawaga and St. Albert are 2-1 in games against those 3 teams. Oakville, Nanaimo, 1-2 against those 3 teams. So Cognawaga, St. Albert become 1-2. Nanaimo, Oakville become 3-4. And then to break those 2 ties, you do head-to-head matchup between the 2 teams. Cognawaga beat St. Albert, Nanaimo beat Oakville. So St. Albert would finish second, Cognawaga first, Nanaimo third, Oakville fourth. So you get Cognawaga versus Oakville, Nanaimo versus St. Albert. We got 20 minutes to decide that. We'll make it all clear for you at the end of the 3rd period. My name's Teddy Jenner. This is the 2018 President's Cup from Nanaimo, BC. 3rd period coming up, 7-5 Miners right here on Lax All-Stars. back inside Frank Crane Arena, third period, the final period of the round robin. St. Albert Miners leading at 7-5 over the Ladner Pioneers. And this 20 will set up crossover Saturday for the top 4 teams. The bottom 4 are already decided. Ladner's going to finish 5th, Onondaga 6th, Axemen from Capital Region are 7th, and Saskatoon is 8th. So it's going to be Ladner-Saskatoon. That game will be at noon. Jake Elliott will have it for you. And then I'll have the first game of the day at 9 between Onondaga and Capital Region. Here's Wyatt Pinder. Watched there by Jason Williamson. Up top, Kirkby. As Kirkby goes far side, Dylan Lacroix. Flips it up top to Tom Johnson. 9 on the shot clock. Johnson down low, Lacroix. Had Pinder in the middle. Goes there. Pass knocked down by Andruko. Grabbed there by O'Meara. O'Meara runs through the check of Wyatt Pinder. Takes a slash. And then he'll give it off to Derek Burak. Burak into the corner. Kinnear. Burak. 4 lefties out here for the Miners. Everybody on this half of the floor. Feed down low to Kinnear. Can't find it. Picked up by Riley. The only righty out there, and he'll shoot it wide. And that'll go all the way down the floor. And then batted back down the floor by Ben Snyder. Here's McFetridge. Gives it off to Garrett Lewis. Lewis into the corner. Cody Nass. Nate Clare. Pivots, shoots, turned aside by Brady Johnson. And Aaron Duff will grab it there for the Miners. Duff, watched by Nate Clare. Turns back into his own zone, takes a chop, runs away from a stick check. Still moving his feet. Nice job by Aaron Duff just to avoid Nate Clare and keep possession. Here's Darren Kinnear. Kinnear with a pick, swings it to Triolo. He was moving before he caught it. Triolo, backside look, one-timer, great save there by Zach Wickett. Reset the 30. Thank you. Christensen. Brett Ferris now into the corner. Skipping up high, Burak. Inside feed, Kinnear. That would have been a tough grab. Then loose ball picked up by Jake Carey. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 Ladner. Carey, Johnson. Fake score, short side bouncer. And it's 7-6. As Johnson gets his hat trick goal. And that comes 2:16 into the period. And that's 4 straight dating back to the second period for Ladner. They were trailing at 1.7-2. And they've gotten it back to a 1-goal game. Loose ball off the draw, picked up there by Davidson. Davidson, Lacroix, Kirkby. Pinder, far side, Bearcoff, now on the stick of Lacroix. Lewis, Kirkby, 10 on the shot clock. And the pass by Lacroix, can't find it, goes out of play. Jake Carey picks up the only assist on the hat-trick goal from Tom Johnson. His previous 2 came on the power play. Christensen, Triolo, Kinnear bobbled it. Finds it off the end glass. 18 on the shot clock. Triolo will set it up again. Down low, Christensen. Christensen gets a pick. He'll shoot through a screen. Missed short side. Gets the rebound. He'll shoot again off the post. Oh, just missed. Oh, and a one-handed flip there by Burak. If that would have stayed low, would have been in and probably the goal of the tournament. Now Jake Carey flips it to Johnson. Lintz again with the one-man board clap. Hanair shot. Sorry, that was Sam. Nate Clare. Rebound Johnson. He'll flip it to O'Meara. Signal Duff to get off the floor. And O'Meara will flip it to Ferris. Ferris gets a pick from Kinnear. Christensen fakes the backhand. Still has it. Being worked over there by Mitch Winter. Near side, Kinnear. 8 on the shot clock. Kinnear trying to get underneath. Still has it. 5. Cody Cox playing great D. Short side shot. That one, nice save by Wicket. As Ladner turns it over. Pinder couldn't handle a pass. And Aaron Duff has it. Sorry, Jarrett Toll has it for the Miners. You can hear Chris Stashnik, the coach of the Miners, letting Clint Jacobs, the official, know that Ladner's cheating every time. Every team pretty much cheats every time. Here's Cornfield. Just a matter of being caught. Outside shot, Triolo, easily handled by Zach Wicket. Wicket has settled down nicely since giving up 5 straight goals to start this game. He's only given up 2 since there was 8 minutes left in the first. On the ground is Nate Clare. He took a heavy chop. Outside shot. That one goes wide. And it's going to go all the way down to Wicket. He'll grab it and chuck it the length of the floor. Or at least try to. Got about 3/4 of the way. And TJ Cox will start with it for his team. Darren Kinnear. Miners leading by a goal. A win gives them first overall. A loss gives us a 4-way tie and will give first place to Cognawaga. Outside shot, hit a body, never made it on net. Loose ball all the way down to Johnson. He's not going to have time. And smart of him not to throw that one after the buzzer. Bearkoff. Tom Johnson. Pinder. Cody Nass. Up top, Bearkoff shot. Hit a body. I think that was Ben Snyder that soaked that one. Ball still loose. Duff in there. Flipped it inside. Davis has it. Davis has a man on his back. Runs past McFetridge. Gets pulled down. Delayed penalty. O'Meara trying to go 5-hole scores! Patrick O'Meara with a big goal for the Miners. That was with an extra man coming on the floor. As O'Meara gets his first. Time of the goal, 6:01. And we'll get a wipe of the floor near center. And then one in the minor zone as well, as John Lintz has been relegated to towel duty. I was just regaling a story with a couple of the officials about towel incidences and home teams having to wipe the floor. And hopefully, when we get to the medal round, I know this has sort of been talked about, but I think they're hoping to have volunteers, whether it's kids or whoever, do the floor wipes instead of having team personnel do it. But that's a moot point. Every team has extra bodies lying around that can run out on the floor and sweep it up. Triolo called for procedure on the draw. So here comes Nate Clare. Good to see that he's okay after taking a slash. Johnson takes the fake flip into the corner. Lacroix. Up high, Johnson. Swings it near side. Kirkby all the way back to Clare. Shot knocked down by the stick of Williams. Clare takes a couple chops, gets a pick from Johnson. Kirkby, 7 on the shot clock. Garrett Lewis. Lewis, nice stick check there by Litz. And it'll be a shot clock violation. Snyder and Duff pick up assists on the goal by O'Meara. Back to a 2-goal game. Jordan Cornfield, the captain for the Miners. His brother Graydon, an assistant captain, not in the lineup tonight. And the pass to Triolo out of his reach. He couldn't find it. Picked up there by Poole. Has Nate Hanair all the way ahead. Hanair couldn't find the bounce. And it goes right to Brady Johnson. Reinhold carries it. We'll get a pick there from Burak. Reinhold still with it. Washed by Jake Carey. Tor Reinhold skips it. Inside, Jason Riley, he's dispossessed. Delayed penalty coming up here to Ladner. And it's going to be to Cody Cox, a slash. And so we will have a power play for St. Albert. As Cox is going to get a high sticking call. And so out will come the Miners power play. I believe they're 2 for 2. Going to be set up there by Ferris, Triolo, Christensen, Kinnear, and Burak out there for St. Albert. Ferris, backhand flip Kinnear. Shot low to high, completely missed. Grabbed there by Nate Hanair, and he's got wheels. Nate Hanair runs putt right past Ferris. Hanair, and then a good job by Ferris to just stay right on his hip. And then he lost his balance, and that's going to be an over and back call. Unlucky there for Hanair, who just got a bit of the speed wobbles and lost his balance, and then was stick checked. And here comes Ferris and the Miners power play. Minute 30 remaining on the Miner to Cox. Triolo, Ferris, Kinnear. Far side, like Triolo. Inside, Ferris, one-timer, great save, wicket. And ball loose, McFetridge there. It's going to bounce right to Kinnear, but McFetridge reaches out. McFetridge shoots, save Brady Johnson. But a delayed penalty coming up here to the Miners. That'll negate the power play. And we'll play 4-on-4 for a minute 5 as Andruko will get a high sticking call. So we'll play a $1.05, a 4-on-4 before the Pioneers will have an abbreviated power play. They trail this one by 2. A win or a loss doesn't mean a difference for Ladner other than momentum going into tomorrow. For St. Albert's, it means a matchup with Nanaimo, as there's an outside shot from Lacroix, or a matchup with Cognawaga. Another power play goal, this one from Dylan Lacroix. 9:27 the time of the goal. Back to a 1-goal game. Another power play, or so that was 4-on-4. As Wicket makes his way back to the bench after getting a sip of water. So each team will line 3 guys up on the draw. Johnson and Toll deep in the defensive zone for the Miners. And they'll call procedure on Triolo. Here's Sam Clare. Triolo's going to go off as Clare goes off. And now here's Nate Clare, the forward Clare. Sam, the defender. Nate, the forward. Here's Kirkby. Johnson. Kirkby with the only assist. Johnson, shot, scores! We are tied, 8-8. As Tom Johnson gets his 4th. As John Lintz goes down to Brady Johnson and just trying to settle his young goaltender, and quickly out comes Matt Hebert. So unlucky showing for Brady Johnson as he came in about halfway through this game, as Chris Stashik was just trying to give his young goaltender some late minutes with his team up 5. But the Pioneers have battled all the way back to tie this game up. So obviously Stashniuk wants that first place seeding. And Ladner wins a loose ball battle with Ian Poole and a chance to take their first lead of the game. At one point, it was 5-0 Miners with 8 minutes left in regulation, or in the first, sorry. And we're all the way back to 8-8. An 8-3 run here for Ladner. Shot there by Bearkoff. Save Hebert. And Toll will find that loose ball. Lintz. The Miners are short as Cox steps out on the floor. Lintz is going to have to get over the timeline. He's going to float one deep into the corner. Ferris is there. who's going to come up with it, and it's going to be Pete McFetridge. McFetridge will float it to Nate Hanair. Now 34 on the power, and Tom Johnson has it, working on a 4-goal game. Johnson, Kirkby, Johnson, one-timer, scores! All the way back from 5-0, it's 9-8 Ladner. Nass on the power. That one didn't take long. What a turn of events here as Ladner has battled all the way back. Triolo wins it to himself. Will flick it all the way back to Hebert. Hebert flips it O'Mara. And the first time in this game, the Miners trail, and a delayed penalty coming up here to Ladner. Kinnear. 6 on 5. Kinnear, Triolo. Kinnear. Kinnear, Triolo down to Christensen. 4 on the shot clock. Triolo, diagonal feed, scores! What a look from Triolo to Nick Ferris. And we're tied at 9. Extra man goal. And Ferris has his second. Third even. .10:28 the time of that one. Buckle up. We got ourselves a fight here to the death. Nanaimo, Cognawaga, Oakville, all very interested bystanders of this contest. Pinder trying to fight for it. It'll be grabbed there by Riley. And Riley will try to run past Wyatt Pinder. Gets a bit of interference there from Aaron Duff. And then Riley will chuck it to Christensen in the corner. Christensen, Triolo. Triolo near side. Ferris. Christensen. Triolo sending a huge pick. That shot goes wide and out of plays. Triolo basically had grabbed 2 Ladner defenders and was just holding them together so that Christensen could fire that over the top and he put it wide. Lewis. Nate Clare. Clare, Lacroix. Kirkby. Shot. Never made it on target. Break here the other way for the Miners. Ben Davis. Davis. Huge pick there. Oh, we're going to get an interference penalty on Tor Reinhold. Probably could have just been an interference, like a minor interference and a ball possession. But instead, they're going to give Tor Reinhold a full penalty. And with 8:32 remaining in regulation, Ladner, another opportunity to take the lead. Johnson will start with it top center. Into the corner, Bearkoff. Nate Clare. Johnson. Kirkby. Down in the corner, Nass. Kirkby, Johnson. Nass, one-timer, put it wide. Try to go right back to the well. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson. Fakes it, shoots it right on target. Loose ball grabbed there by John Lintz. Lintz gonna run, flips it up to Andrewko. Andrewko will hold on to it. Got to be wary of the timeline. Andrewko will carry it far side. $1:15 remaining on the penalty to Reinhold. Ferris skips it to Christensen, and that one goes over and back. So Ladner, with $1:05 remaining on the minor, will bring the power play back out. Again, trying to regain their lead. They trailed 5-0 at one point. Clare. Johnson. Kirkby. Shot. Oh, got the inside of the leg pad of Hebert and deflects wide as Kirkby had the 5-hole and Hebert got just enough. Ben Snyder strip. Loose ball picked up there by Cox. Cox and Claire. Cox, Claire, fakes it, just put it wide. And then the ball's going to bounce towards the St. Albert bench, and it'll go up and out of play. So it'll be St. Albert's possession. Duff, 23 on the minor. So they got to get it across the line, then should be able to kill the rest as Triolo has it. Watched there by Patrick Zabo. Mike Triolo carries, swims. 5 seconds. Triolo runs past Poole. Backdoor cut Ferris. Double teamed. And then he gets bumped, ball loose. Not sure why they were going to the net there. They just got back to 5-on-5. 9-9, 6:20 to go. McFetridge swings it to Johnson. Near side, Garrett Lewis. He'll swing it on a one-timer. And that was a nice save by Matt Hebert. Toll. Reinhold. Up the ladder, O'Mara. Patrick O'Mara. Off a screen with a head of steam. Swim move, shot. Shoulder save, wicket, loose ball. Christensen got bumped. I don't know how they don't call that. And then Cox gives a pump. How's that not a call and an interference? The other way, great save, Hebert. As Ladner was pushing Christensen once on a loose ball, and then a couple more times when the play was all the way up the floor. And no call was made, but for the Miners, they get it right back. Late man, Jason Riley gives to Christensen. Christensen shot, save, wicket. Christensen there battling, gets pushed. And now they will call a minor interference on Ladner as things get a little chippy. And that's TJ Cox over there wearing 22 in red. It's going to be St. Albert possession, 5-11 in regulation. So we'll get a wipe of the floor right here in front of the Ladner bench. So again, if you're just tuning in or may not be aware, with a St. Albert win, they'll finish first. And after all the tiebreakers and formulas, Oakville would finish second, Nanaimo third, Cognawaga fourth, leaving St. Albert and Cognawaga in one semi, Oakville and Nanaimo in the other. If St. Albert loses this game, the top four teams are all tied at 5-2. And again, after head-to-heads and formulas and calculating all the tiebreakers, Cognawaga would finish first, St. Albert second, Oakville fourth, Nanaimo third, making it Cognawaga, Oakville, St. Albert, Nanaimo in the semifinals. So lots to be played with here as we have 5-11 in regulation. Again, it was 5-0 St. Albert with 8 minutes to go in the first. Here's Triolo. He's been rather quiet here. A couple assists for the big man, but hasn't really been as effective as he was early on in this tournament. Cornfield. He'll shoot. That goes off the stick of Poole. Going to bounce and go into the netting. It should stay here. Oh, that's the wrong call. That deflected off a Ladner stick and into the net, but the officials didn't notice. Now Cody Nass. Inside to Nate Clare. He couldn't handle it. Loose ball grabbed there by Aaron Duff. And he'll pass it to Andruko, who takes it nicely off the glass. He's got Wyatt Pinder hot on his heels. Andruko. Burak. He's watched there by McFetridge. Burak gets inside. Four-side scores! Derek Burak with a great solo effort past McFetridge. Restores the Miners' lead. It's 10-9. Derek Burak with a huge goal. His second. .15:41 the time of the goal. Zabo. Triolo at the face-off dot. Jacobs just realigning everybody. Triolo wins it, flips it. Ferris, 2-on-1 if he wants it. Ferris, twister, 5-hole kicked aside by the right leg of Wicket. Batting for that loose ball, Jason Riley. He comes away with it. And he'll slow it up and let his defenders on the ball team change and flip it off to Darren Kinnear. Kinnear gets a pick, runs high, trying to flip it over to Triolo, loses his footing, and then gets a pick inside, nicely picked off there by Poole. Poole dispossessed, backside Christensen, and Poole got his stick in the way again. What a play by Ian Poole, and he has been defensively excellent here tonight. Kirkby, Nass into the corner, Tom Johnson, 3.5 in regulation. Kirkby, someone's open in the middle, backside look, inside, great save, Hebert, as he denied Garrett Lewis. Lewis, bodied there by Reinhold, ball loose, picked up by Lintz, 3-on-2. Lintz, O'Meara shoots, save, Wicket. As Lintz and Winter spar. And Lee Breen will take them both. And you know what? I think that might even be a smart thing to do if you're Ladner. Get coincidentals, make it 4-on-4. Now you can pull your goalie, go 5-on-4. Run a little power here. 3:08 remaining, down a goal. Whew. Games tomorrow start at 9 o'clock. And the opening game will be the 5-6 game. No, sorry, it'll be the 6-7 game. Onondaga versus Capital Region at 9. At noon, Saskatoon Ladner. And then at 3, it'll be the 1-4 game, and at 6, the 2-3 game. What we do know is Nanaimo's going to finish third. We can tell you that. Nanaimo slotted into the third place in both tiebreaker scenarios. So that means that they will play the late game at 6 o'clock. Nope, sorry, they'll play the 2-3 games. They finished third. That's at 3 o'clock. Dan Marshall will have that game. Jake Elliott will do the 1-4 game. And whoever is in that. Kirkby. Far side, Lacroix. Down in the corner, Nate Clare, shot. Again, knocked down by a stick of a Miners defender. Lacroix. Underneath, shot, save there, Hebert. And since coming in for Brady Johnson, Matt Hebert has really just buoyed his team's spirits and allowed them to get back into this game. Reinhold, doubled, loses possession, had his stick ripped out of his hands. 2-on-1 the other way. 3-on-2 now. Poole, 4-on-3. Poole switches hands. Pinder, shot. That one went wide. Loose ball, going to bounce all the way down the floor. Andruko gave half a floor chase. Quickly up ahead, nice one-handed Graham Cody Nass. Shot goes wide, loose ball, Bearkoff. 5-shot save, Matt Hebert. Hebert to Andruko. Message from the Miners bench is easy. Easy. Here's Christensen. St. Albert's wants to use 30. 38 left in 4-on-4 lacrosse. Christensen. Ferris. Christensen. Triolo sets the seal. Comes back. Ferris bobbled it. Peter McFetridge's got wheels and a breakaway. Being chased there by Ferris. McFetridge kicked aside Matt Hebert. And then Haner couldn't find it. Loose ball grabbed there by Toll. Toll, slow it up. 5 seconds in 4-on-4. Ferris got to be careful of Winter coming out from behind him. And he'll bounce it bench side. 5-on-5 as we reach the final minute of regulation. Christensen, Ferris bobbled it. 4 on the shot clock. Ferris just going to chuck it. Does Ladner want timeout? They do. So they'll call timeout with 52.7 remaining, trailing by a goal. This has been a dandy. It was 6-1 St. Albert after 1, 7-5 St. Albert after 2, as Ladner battled all the way back to get to within 2. Then here in the third period, they got it back to them leading 9-8, but back-to-back goals by Ferris and Derek Burak have given the Miners a 10-9 lead with a minute to go. So again, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 6 versus 7, Onondaga versus Capital Region. At noon, 5 versus 8, Ladner versus Saskatoon. The 2-3 seed game, which will include the Nanaimo Timmerman, goes at 3, and then the 1-4 game will be at 6 o'clock. 9, 12, 3, and 6, the time of the games over the next 2 days. 6-on-5 Ladner. Johnson loops around. Bearkoff. Up top, Nate Clare. Bearkoff pass knocked down by the stick of O'Mara. 15 on the shot clock. Nass. Bearkoff. Shot deflected into the corner. Nass has it. 8. Clare goes to the bench. Gets Wicket back out. Johnson. Diagonal feed and Kirkby couldn't find it. And O'Mara has it. And now the Miners can run out the clock here. O'Mara. 15 in regulation. Now they bring Wicket to the bench, so it's 6-on-5. O'Mara's got to be careful of the double team. He'll just throw it down the floor. Ball picked up there by Hanair. Nice job by Ferris to find, and that's going to do it. Make the final. What a game. 10-9 St. Albert. They'll finish first. Oakville will finish second. Nanaimo third. Cognawaga fourth. So it'll be St. Albert versus Cognawaga and Oakville versus Nanaimo. What a Saturday we have for you here on Lax All-Stars. This was the final game of regulation. We'll get you our game MVPs and get you on our way. As the two teams will shake hands at center, we'll set you up with the MVPs and send you on your way tonight right here from Lax All-Stars. So the teams go through the handshake line, and then they'll say thanks to all the officials. So things are set, and it sets us up for a great look on Saturday, starting at 9 right here on Lax All-Stars. Onondaga versus Capital Region. At noon, Ladner versus Saskatoon. At 3, it's going to be Nanaimo. Nanaimo versus Oakville. And then at 6, what a game at 6 o'clock, St. Albert versus Cognawaga. That is going to be a beauty. Send it to our public address announcer for the game MVPs.
For the Ladner Pioneers, number 10, Ian Poole. And for the St. Albert Miners, goaltender number 35, Matt Heater.
So there are your game MVPs brought to you by Epic Lacrosse and Extreme Threads. Matt Hebert, the goaltender for St. Albert, and Ian Poole, the drawman defensive specialist for Ladner. And that's the way things are going to end. Final score, 10-9 in favor of St. Albert's. They'll finish first. They'll take on Cognawaga tomorrow in the 1 versus 4 game. Ladner will take on Saskatoon in the 5 versus 8 game. My name's Teddy Jenner. For our whole crew here with Lax All-Stars, Jake Elliott, Dan Marshall, that is it for the round robin. Crossover start tomorrow, 9 o'clock, bright and early from Frank Crane. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at Off the Crossbar, Jake Elliott, PXP for Sports, Dan Marshall 77, our gracious hosts at Lax All-Stars. And until then, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning from Nanaimo one last time. Be excellent to each other.
Thank you.